Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of Snuggles and Storytime. My name's Amanda, and I'm so glad you could join me today. Today, I have a story about a holiday that's coming up. Actually, it's a holiday that people are celebrating right now. This holiday is called Hanukkah, and that holiday is celebrated by people who are Jewish. And in today's story, they're going to make a food that they eat a lot of during Hanukkah. They're going to make Latkes. They are. Have you ever had a latke? It's kind of like a potato pancake. Yeah, you'll have to try it sometime. See if you like it. But before I tell you more about the story, let's go ahead and say hello, okay? So please put your hands up so you can join me. Here we go. Hello, all my friends, how are you? Hello, all my friends, how are you? With the jiggle, 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 and a wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Hello, all my friends, how are you? So today's story is all about Grandma's Latkes. So the grandma is teaching the girl how to make latkes. Again, it's a very important food for Hanukkah. It's written by Malka, Drucker, and it's illustrated, or the pictures are by Chwast. Are you ready? It's a nice story about how they make their latkes. Here we go. No matter how Molly tried, she could never beat Grandma at grating potatoes. One potato after another flew from Grandma's hands into a mountain of slippery white slivers. How did you learn to make latkes? Molly asked. She rested her tired arms, but didn't complain. She was finally old enough to be picked as Grandma's helper. They had lots of latkes to make for the Hanukkah party. So at Hanukkah, people have parties. From my grandmother, said Grandma, before Hanukkah, she would save her pennies, she was very poor, to buy potatoes, eggs, onions, and oil. All of us, you remember I had 5 brothers and sisters, would be in the kitchen when she would fry the latkes. Look at my recipe. It's in her handwriting. She used 3 potatoes, but we'll use 6 because we have so many people. Grandma put the potatoes in a bowl and took out the eggs, onions, salt, and pepper. Why do we eat latkes during Hanukkah? Is it because Jews liked them a long time ago? Molly asked. No, it's because it reminds us of the oil. Take out the oil. Molly, while we're talking. As Molly went to the pantry, Grandma began to grate the onions. Tears rolled down her cheeks. It's just the onions, she told Molly, smiling. Molly asked, how do you know how many onions to use? Well, look. My grandma wrote use 1 onion for 3 potatoes. Do you know the story of Hanukkah? She asked. Not really, admitted Molly. Well, why don't you break the eggs into this bowl and I'll tell it to you. A long time ago, Jews didn't eat potatoes. But they also ate lots of other vegetables and fruits because they were farmers in Israel. They lived plain, simple lives, and they were happily raising families and celebrating their holidays. But they didn't have Hanukkah yet? Molly asked. That's right, said Grandma. The trouble began when Antiochus, the Syrian king, became ruler of Israel and demanded that everyone pray to the Greek gods. No other religion was allowed. That would be like If everyone had to celebrate Christmas, Molly said, no more Hanukkah, no more Latkes. I don't think I like that guy. She broke the first egg into the bowl. Many people didn't, Grandma said. Uh-oh, Grandma. Part of the eggshell fell into the bowl. I can't get it out. It keeps jumping away from me. Molly's fingers dripped with sticky egg whites. No matter what she tried, she couldn't get a hold of the shell. Watch this, Grandma said. She dipped another piece of eggshell into the bowl. And out came the piece that Molly had dropped. Let me try that, Molly said, and Grandma threw another bit of shell in. Just like Grandma, Molly easily fished out the eggshell with a piece in her hand. I like this trick, she said. Good, Grandma said, smiling. Now, mix the potatoes, onions, and eggs together, Molly. Grandma poured oil into a big frying pan and turned on the stove. So, did the Jewish people get mad at that mean king? Molly continued. Do you think they did? Would you get mad if somebody told you what to do? I would guess so. Yes, eventually, Grandma said. One day, Antiochus sent a soldier to Matthias, a wise old man who lived near Jerusalem. The soldier said, Antiochus will make you rich and powerful if you will help him. Just kill this pig and eat a little bit of it. Then all the Jews will follow your lead. You know, Molly, in those days, Jews didn't eat meat from pigs. But Matthias screamed at the soldier, Go away! Don't tell me what to eat, and don't tell me who to believe in. Suddenly, a grubby little man appeared who had been listening, and he stepped forward. I will eat the meat, he whispered. This made Matthias angry. He couldn't understand how someone would throw away their religion so easily. So he killed the man and the soldier and shouted, All who believe in God follow me, he said. Molly stopped stirring the mixture and stared at Grandma. So did they? She asked. Well, said Grandma, some did. She sprinkled some salt and pepper into the bowl and said, Now we're ready to fry the latkes. First, we take a tablespoon of the mixture and drop the spoonful into the bubbly hot oil. Grandma made 8 circles in the frying pan, and they sizzled and turned brown. Molly's mouth began to water. Grandma picked her up to watch the latkes fry. Don't put your face too close. My grandma would say, Stand back. The oil jumps out. You'll get burned. But we wouldn't go far because we couldn't wait to eat her crispy hot latkes. When the oil stopped spitting, Grandma went on with the story. Matthias had 5 sons. The oldest was Judah Maccabee. Judah and his brothers led a small army against Antiochus and this huge army of soldiers. And guess what, Molly? A miracle happened. The small army led by the Maccabees won. How could the Maccabees win? Molly asked. Well, no one knows for sure how such a miracle happened. It's a mystery, Grandma explained. But Judah Maccabee knew his little country very well and surprised Antiochus by hiding in the hills, and they didn't know that they had won. If they didn't, the Jewish people might have been destroyed. but mostly they felt that they had the Spirit of God inside them, and that gave them strength. The Maccabees returned to their beautiful big temple in Jerusalem, ready to celebrate. Instead, they cried. The temple was filthy. Blood, dirt, and ashes covered everything. All the books, Torahs, and candlesticks were gone. Worst of all, when Judah tried to light the menorah, there was only a drop of oil. That's only enough for maybe one day. But when oil was poured into the lamp, it burned a second day and a third. In all, it burned for 8 days. How did that happen? Asked Molly. It's another miracle, said Grandma. Just like the Maccabees beating Antiochus, and just like you, Molly, you're my miracle. Grandma wrapped the latke in a paper towel and handed it to Molly. Molly bit into the hot, crispy pancake and sighed with pleasure. Grandma brought a big plate covered with a paper towel over to the frying pan. So that's why on Hanukkah we fry latkes in lots of oil. And eat them, said Molly. You bet. Help me put the latkes on the plate. She lifted them out of the pan with her spatula and drained them on the paper towel. When they were finally ready, Molly and Grandma carried in the heavy platter of golden pancakes to the rest of the family who were waiting at the table. Delicious! Grandpa was waiting. He would smear sour cream over his latke. Molly's mom said, I heard you and Grandma talking in there the whole time. What's going on? Molly answered, I learned a lot of things. Cooking secrets, she said. Like what? Asked Mom. Like how to fish out eggshells from the bowl of eggs, Molly said. Next time we cook, I'll show you. Good, said Molly's mom. What else did you learn? The pages don't want to turn today, my friends. Molly swallowed a bite of applesauce-covered latke and said, I learned a lot about Judah Maccabee and how he beat Antiochus, even though Antiochus was stronger, and how a tiny bit of oil lasted for 8 nights and days, and those were miracles. And Hanukkah is all about miracles. She thought a moment. Grandma, do we light candles for 8 nights because the light lasted for 8 days? Grandma laughed and said, exactly. Now you know enough to teach your own grandchildren. And she gave Molly a kiss. The end. So there you go. She made latkes with her grandma, and she learned all about Hanukkah. Maybe you celebrate Hanukkah. Maybe you don't. But we learned something today, and that's exciting. It's always good to learn new things. Until next time, my friends, bye-bye.